everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of El Coquillo Taku. Tonight, we have a special guest with so many lovely and fun characters, such as Konami, Amanatsu, in Makeine, too many losing heroines, Carbuncle in Once Upon a Witch Death, Nataku-san in Fire Force, which they're back finally, Momo in One Piece, Arc and Entoma in Overlord, and many more. So tonight we welcome Corinne Sudberg. Corinne.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm excited today because so many characters, and like I mentioned, so many legacy series that they're finally back. And
yeah,
I said that we, the fans, we love this series, especially the one we're going to kick it off. One of the series that I think they confirmed. Yeah, they just confirmed the second season.
yes, they have confirmed. So yeah, more work for me.
We're looking forward for that drama. Makeine to losing heroines.
Yeah,
We get the character of Konami.
yeah.
Which technically, Konami, it will be the most serious character. She's like the example. So for those who haven't seen this series, how do you describe Makeine?
Makeine it's a really cute slice of life show. It follows a boy named Kazuhiko who's in high school, and he's interacting with several girls who basically have their heart broken or rejected by different guys or different love interests. And he's just kind of like the middleman between all these girls and just basically encouraging them to like move on and learn about themselves. So it's a pretty cute slice of life show. I like it. And I play Konami, who is also out of love. She has a pretty funny rant like near the end of the series, but I am just basically Kazuhiko's history teacher, I believe. So and I have a lot of fun bouncing off jokes with my friend Sayo, who is the school nurse. So yeah,
Which is voiced by Maganda Marie.
yes.
And they have a very interesting dynamic. We have Kayo. Okay,
They do. I haven't read the manga, and I probably should because there's only bits and pieces that they tell us in the actual show. Like they definitely went to high school together, but other than that, I don't really know what else about their relationship is. So
me neither, because I haven't read the manga, which
Yeah.
I wouldn't read neither. But in the anime, holy cow, what a friendship with these figures.
yeah, they're both sassy friends. Yeah.
How do you describe your character in this world? We have so much many comedy, beautiful image, drama, but she is the role of each.
My character is loud and angry and whiny. She's basically what all the other girls, she's basically expressing what everybody wants to express, but because they have to keep their self-image and be polite and everything, Konami doesn't care. Konami wants the whole world to hear how she's suffering and that she just wants love too, you know? And I find that really funny because I'm also kind of loud and needy in some points. So when I got this character, I was, usually I'm fine with any role, but this character I knew just suited me, if that makes any sense. So I was we got the voice right away, which is basically my regular voice, and we were just in tune automatically. So yeah, she's a lot of fun to play. I'm really happy to have gotten the chance to play her. So.
And many people we saw a show, we saw ourselves in Konami because she's like, okay, yeah, sure, okay, and damn. From so many
Life's
funny.
hard, but you gotta move forward, you know? She says it as it is because she's experienced it. And that's why she's probably a teacher, because she likes educating kids and telling people that, you know, life's rough, but, you know, just keep going.
And for some reason, still love doesn't play good with her. Hopefully we can find out very soon why. But
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
Sayo spoiled a lot of the relationship between them. Which one of those moments that really got you by surprise?
Caught me by surprise? I mean, probably when Kazuhiko was in the what was it, the sports shack or something, and he got stuck in there, and they were like, their clothes were almost off. I mean, typical, right? Like I'll be like, I'll leave you guys be, like. So yeah, that was pretty funny. I'm also very comedic, so this character was like perfect for me too. I don't get to play too many comedic roles, so I feel like we got a lot of the timing down for her as well. So,
and I really that moment because I would have done the same. Like, okay, sure, not my business.
yeah, teenagers, am I right? Yeah.
More real. And the other part, when they were in the school festival, and they're thinking about like, hey, having a boyfriend. Suddenly, hey, you have a boyfriend? Oh no, asking for a boyfriend. When the main character brother, like, you have somebody can date, and Suddenly said, yeah, like, you have she has.
I do remember that. Yeah, that was fun. Fun little.
Like, oh, yeah, slow down.
She's not afraid to poke fun, which is also me in general. I like to tease and prod people as well, to get them on their toes. So it's very relatable.
Which I have to confess, it's great. We had that friend at work where we can like be kind of safe with our joke without getting to HR office.
Yeah. I think Sayo is even riskier than I am sometimes, because there's been times I've noticed when she says something and I'm like, Sayo, geez, like, you're crazy.
She's not kind of risky. She is full risk at all. And she's like, wow. Which I really love that dynamic between your character and Sayo.
Yeah.
Moving on to a new drama, one of the latest series being dubbed, which confess I haven't had the chance to sit down. So my watch list, but haven't even seen yet. Talking about Once Upon a Witch Dead, where you get the Carbuncle.
Yeah.
Okay, theory. I don't think the title going to display by itself, or probably
Once Upon a Witch's Death. So that is a show about a witch named Megan Raspberry, I believe, played by my friend Hannah. She's basically been training to be a witch for a long time, and then her teacher tells her that she only has 1 year to live. And yeah, thanks, Teach. But there is a possible way she can survive by collecting tears of happiness, I believe, or something like that. So she needs to kind of interact with the people in town and collect these tears in order to hopefully live. So that's basically the story.
Are we talking about happy story or drama or sad story? Because now I'm confused.
I mean, we hope it's going to be a happy one. So far, I think there's a few episodes out right now, and the tears that she collected are from moments of like, oh, she helped out a friend, get through like some difficult like stuff, or like, she helped a girl who lost her mother, and she always wanted to see what her favorite flower was, and then she got to show her what her favorite flower was, so then they got to experience the mom's favorite flower. Also, there was a grandma that only had like a few like days to live, and so she let her have like a nice day out before she passed away, stuff like that. So like, I mean, there's happiness in different forms, so, and then that's what she's also learning, because she's always been working, but she's never like been social, you know what I mean? Like, part of like us as we're growing up as adults is that we're always focusing on work, but we also need to like, we need street smarts, or talking with people, or just like interacting with our neighbors, so that's what she's kind of getting out of it. But she's also using the fact that she has 1 year to live, so it's a little bit of a juggling act. I don't play that cool character though. I play her one of her familiars, Carbuncle, which is like a ferret looking like creature, which is surprisingly the first time I played such a cute little creature ever. And I basically just get to make feral squirrel noises for the show, so that's kind of interesting.
So let me ask, how was the challenge of just being a character which is not verbal but had to express emotion through non-English language, I guess?
Yeah, that is an interesting challenge, because basically all you can rely is on noises. So I basically I could even show you what I do for Carbo. I kind of go like, so it's kind of like gurgly and stuff like that. So then usually if it's like he's happy, it's like, it's more of like in the facial expressions, and then that's how the noises come out and stuff like that. So I kind of just react that way, if that makes any sense.
And how do we get the inspiration for this character, or the reference from?
What's that?
Where do we get the inspiration or the reference to make this character?
I actually made a creature reel for Crunchyroll, and I guess they asked for different animals, cats, sheep, and stuff like that. Most of the time I made up this noise because I've played dragons before in like fan projects, and like, dragons are kind of big, like cute little baby dragons, so I was kind of like kind of monstrous. And then when they brought me in, they're like, yeah, in the Japanese, it just goes Q, and we think that's too Japanese. So we wanted to sound more animalistic, and we thought what you were doing was close enough to that. So yeah, if you listen to the show, you'll hear me chirp and squeak and do all kinds of weird noises. She also, Megan likes to tickle me a lot too, so you'll hear a lot like, yeah. And it's fun because I basically get to, it's probably the most playful I get to be, because at this point, I'm just watching the clip and then chasing it, which chasing in dubbing means that you can watch the scene and then do the line afterwards, and then the mixer can move it over to see if it fits in the spot. And usually I'll give them like several different takes to give them different ideas, and then they'll be like, yeah, we like the third one. We'll go with the third one, you know?
And I was about to talk about that, because in previous episode we have learned from our guests how the timing, the inserting their voice into the recording.
Oh yeah.
It was challenging here, being able to stay with because there's no lip syncing for this one. It's not like.
I mean, he does open his mouth sometimes, but like, it's basically like I said, like usually if I see what he's doing and then go right after. So if there's just a simple little, like, say he's just going like, he's just looking at Megan going like, so that if I see that, yeah, you know, I could just do that, and then the engineer will move it over.
Damn. But
yeah, thanks engineers.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine the challenge, just bringing imagination to the real world.
Even if it's not animal, even if we're doing basic lines, even if we're off just a little bit, there's still a chance that the engineers can still squash and stretch or fit it enough, you know, if the timing is still off. Because sometimes the directors want us to focus more on the acting rather than being stilted with the flaps. Because you can imagine how that could stilt you if you're like, put on this performance, but the guy's opening his mouth like 5 times. So good luck with that. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah, we were talking about that in the last episode. For me, it's kind of hard to imagine the idea that just tell me, like, say something on 3, 2, 1. I can even, for me, initiating the video podcast, I always have a hard time. That's the welcome everybody. It's so hard. I can now imagine, like, the beep, like, beep, beep, beep. I just crash at the moment, like,
yeah.
Already. So, and moving on with another character that is, it's high-pitched, but there's a lot of action in this series. Talking about Nataku on Fire Force.
Yeah, my sad little boy.
There's a lot of people who haven't seen Fire Force, and when they first hear about Fire Force, they think it's about firefighters. How do you describe this beautiful scene?
I mean, they're not too wrong on that. It's just instead of fighting fires, they're fighting fire demons and people that have fire-based magic powers and stuff like that. And there's like a whole like end of the world legend going on, and I happen to play one of these characters that's one of the apostles, Nataku's son, who he originally didn't have fire powers. He was infected by a bug that gave him fire powers. Yeah, so basically he was in season 1 when he got infected, and then season 2 is more where they flesh out his character, where I think his mom wanted him to be a doctor. And then all of a sudden when he got these fire powers, they had to put him into training, and he's just like, oh, well, we're not going to do the doctor thing, but this will prove to be good, right, son? You're not going to let us down, right? And we're like, uh-huh. Yeah. I play a lot of characters and kids that have a lot of anxiety and a lot of weight on their shoulders. So having to go through that stress, you know, is always an interesting challenge, you know. I think we've all been in different ways, even if we don't have like powers or stuff like that. We all get the stress of like trying to prove to our parents that like we could become something, you know, important in life. So
that expectation, and that's something that really killed me, because like you mentioned, season 1 it really gave us the heads up, like, hey, so those demons, they're not demons just because accident. This is how they're becoming demons.
Yeah.
And in season 2 we had the awakening or revelation that he's one of those pillars.
Yeah, one of the I think it's the pillar or apostle or something like that. Yeah,
the pillar. So one of the 6 pillars.
One of the 6 pillar. Yeah.
Which we're about to find out what the heck that may be.
Yeah, finally, right? In the final season. So he hasn't come in yet, but I've seen him in the opening and the ending, so hopefully he will pop up in the new season. But great. I know. I'm hoping for it. Fun fact about voicing him, I recorded most of season 2 in my closet during COVID for him. Yeah, so back then, during the Funimation days, they sent us gear to record over to Funimation with the engineers. That was a whole process. But luckily, I'd never had a noise complaint, which is good because most of the characters I play, including Nataku, scream a lot. So just imagine like 3 PM just me going like, I'm gonna kill you all! Yeah, like...
For a minute. Hey, with a police safety check. We hear multiple verbal aggression.
Nothing's gonna stop me! He's like, oh. Yeah. So that was fun.
I'm sure you, the voice actor community, you guys can make like a blog of what happened during COVID. And I'm sure many of voice actors are going to share, oh yeah, go call the police. This how many times.
Yeah, right, yeah. I have not gotten in trouble, surprisingly. And I was like in the 2nd floor, too.
He super surprised me.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, so recording from the closet and then going back to the studio, did that affect anything on the voice that you had to perform? Because I would imagine being in your closet, and even that you try to make it a studio, it's not always going to be a studio perfect.
True, it's not perfect, but I do record professional gigs through my closet. Well, I moved since then. The new one I have is still a closet, but it's more acoustic foam, and they do approve these tests. We do booth tests to make sure that these things do get approved by the studio. And some studios still do remote, but now they're getting back into the studio setting. I will say the only difference, it was more difficult for the engineers, if anything. You can definitely tell certain episodes they tried their best with what they could do, but there are certain like anime probably during that time that you can hear maybe little statics and pops because they were still learning, while they were trying to rush and get stuff done, while also COVID was trying to be solved out there. You know what I mean? So honestly, it was more tough for the engineers, and I'm glad they were able to do what they can to keep getting the work out there for everybody. So,
and going back to your character kind of traumatized me because, like I mentioned, season 2. Oh my God! We have to first mention that who make him a fighter.
Oh yeah, it was Brandon's Uncle Reaper,
and which later on season 2 we can see how that guy that he's dead is still in his mind playing with.
Oh yeah. I'm always remembering like the actors and not like the actual character, but yeah, like in my poster too, I have him with the star eyes and stuff like that still. Yeah, because like Nataku is traumatized in so many ways, and even by season 2's end, even though Uncle Reaper is not even that good for him, he's the only person that understands him, and that's what's so messed up about it. So it's Nataku's only choice to still go with him, and hopefully keep getting better and stronger, in the hopes that he could protect people like his mom and stuff like that. So not a great conclusion, but that's all. Like again, that's all he has. So.
It didn't really make me kind of feel uncomfortable with this character because it's a very complex character. It's a kid who was transformed. All his friends died, became demons.
Yep.
Of there, he the only bad luck who survived. Now he's on experiment by Haichima Industry. Now he's under control of Uncle Reaper, which is an abuser of weak.
Oh no, it's the worst. It's probably the worst character I've had that doesn't have a great conclusion. I mean, hopefully things get better. I haven't kept up with the manga, but...
And I thought, like, okay, perfect. It's enough with Uncle Reaper. No, so now he have his mom trauma, and no, it's not enough. By the way, wait, there's more. We have the guy who make him just pushing on him. Who's cool? So the guy like, how I can handle? How the guy haven't exploded yet because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And we had to wrap it all. Like, oh, sure, no, another guy. Oh, by the way, let's calm down. The season 2 is a pillar, so why not? Sure.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're going to see season 3. We're going to find out what the pillar really means. We have a good idea so far, and something I can't wait to find out. Many friends.
We'll see if Nataku is maybe mentally better. Who knows? He could be worse.
Who knows? And we need to find out how the heck this series is related to Soul Eaters because it's.
Oh, that's right. They keep saying that. Yeah.
Somebody's playing me, and even my brother tried to spoil it to me, and he sent me like one of those reels with spoilers, which I'm like, dude, what the heck? Sure, whatever. You spoiled it to me already.
I'm good with that, yeah.
No, and when I saw it, I was like, I see where this is going, but for some reason, still not doing the click. Of course, we had the moon. Yeah, the moon is over there. We lost that creepy moon.
I feel the same way. I don't know where it clicks either, to be honest, but I barely remember Soul Eater. I feel like people like Soul Eater because the characters look so cool. But other than that, I couldn't tell you what Soul Eater was about. You know what I mean?
Let's do a quick 3 minute spoiler moment just to
Yeah.
think about it. How this is going to be? How did you imagine the relationship is going to be?
If I'm trying to remember Soul Eater, the main character Maki was trying to get souls to become like more powerful or evolve her scythe friend. So maybe something has to do with the Infernals. Maybe it's another type of like witch. There were witches. I know there were witches in Soul Eater. So maybe witches have something to do with the Infernals and the pillars. And if you combine them all, you'll get a powerful weapon. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
Which is not too far from where I'm here. You go to the divinity with the pillars as I hear. Well, that's one of the spoilers they gave me. But when I saw this, I was like, wait, so season 2, when they went to the outside world, when they had that abandoned reactor, so there was a barrier where they are not allowed to cross, which they called the god was in the other side. So I was like, I wonder if that's living inside the world Soul Eater, and there's a barrier somebody can cross in and out, which is super powerful, what they call God or something, which is, but at the same time, like, well, how this divinity is crossing that barrier nobody can cross, but that thing can cross it, and I feel like that's a connection. They have to be
maybe they need the pillars to unlock the barrier or something like that.
Yeah, it gets super complicated. Apparently,
it doesn't it?
I'm ready for it. I'm so ready for it because both series are great. Soul Eater was awesome. And when they told me Fire Force, I was like, how? I love the idea, but how?
Well, we'll see, because we have the first core for this season for spring, and then we have the second core coming out in January. So that'll be interesting.
January.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not that bad because usually it's over a year. Like Attack on Titan was every year, so it's good. So, and talking about how Corinne went to the voice acting world.
Oh, how did I get into act? I've been acting since I was 7, so I've kind of always enjoyed acting. My parents, actually before that, I actually had trouble speaking when I was very young. Apparently, my parents, I don't know if I had any disability or something like that, but basically, I wouldn't talk until like the age of 5. I would point to things or make motion to things, so like I had like cognitive ideas. My mom also joked that I would be able to sing any song from a Disney movie, but I wouldn't say like a sentence. So then she got me into speech classes, and then after we got into speech classes, started talking more. And then she started getting me into different activities, and she's like, oh, let's do some improv, let's do some acting. And I think that kind of got me out of my shell, and then I started doing all these crazy things. I also got into animating. Went to the School of Visual Arts to study animation. Loved everything about it except for the animating. And then that got me back into acting because I did enjoy acting for a while. Like I said, I was acting since I was 7, trying out for commercials, little shows here and there. And then when I got to high school, I didn't like being on stage anymore. Kind of had like self-image issues and just like drama club, too many people being very dramatic. And so I went to art school, and then during art school, they kind of tell you to take an acting class because as animators, you have to act with your body to figure out what to draw and stuff like that. And that kind of revigorated me to get back into acting. And then they're like, why don't you try voice acting? That way nobody gets to see you. And I was like, that's a great idea. Why didn't I think of that before? Like, I thought voice acting was like a more elite thing, like harder to get into. And it really wasn't. Like, I just had to look up different like online classes. Granted, that's where like YouTube just started too when I was in college. Like, YouTube started like around 2010. So like that was the time people were experimenting stuff on like Newgrounds and YouTube and like making their own animations and parodies and stuff like that. So then I kind of experimented with that. Started doing fan dubs and abridging things and stuff like that. And then before I knew it, I was starting to get paid gigs here and there for little indie projects, little fan animations. I got to do a pilot for a Nickelodeon show that never got picked up. But you could see the episode on YouTube called Welcome to Showside. It was based off a comic book. I played Bill the Monster Hunter, who was friends with a demon. Typical, am I right? Yeah. I got to work with Henry Rollins. That was really cool. I got to sing in front of him. And then eventually I got an audition from Joel McDonald, who's done a lot of directing for Funimation. He's in Gearbox now. And he gave me my first role for Momonosuke, actually, for One Piece. So,
And when we speak about John Corinne that was very shy or didn't speak too much, and now we can say you kind of extrovert now. At least you're more extrovert.
I'm super extroverted. I think I'm probably one of the most extroverted VAs. And I'm not saying not all actors are, but like if you meet a lot of us tend to be kind of in the middle, introvert, more extrovert, I feel. You know what I mean? Me, I don't care. I'm just loud, I'm bombastic. I like being social. So
Now that you mentioned that, I like to go to this neighborhood theater on the neighborhood theater, and I go to one here where I'm living right now, and I went to this play. Oh my god, I forgot the name. Oh my god, I forgot the play. But the thing is, the character it is the musical, but or somehow in the end, probably have it.
I also love musicals too. Musicals help me a lot too.
Oh crap! I forgot the name of this musical. It's a very sassy, like an aliens and not alien show, but it's like a Frankenstein, very sexy.
Alien Frankenstein. Okay.
The Rocky Horror Show and
Rocky
the
Horror Picture Show. Yes.
that one, which I love it. And the main character, the villain, he is like super sassy, super extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're in a get together with the what's the name of where I live, the place theater, and I see the guy who do the character. So I say, hey, nice to meet you, super fun, super shy, super shy person.
It depends on the person. Like, yeah, like you think because we're actors that like a lot of us are loony and stuff like that. But I think a lot of us lean towards the introverted side. You know, I think the thing is we play so many people that it's mentally draining on us, and then we sort of kind of lose ourselves when we actually like, who am I? Who am I? I've done that play many times. But yeah, I tend to just use it as just like another fun tool in my head, and I don't know. I've always been a social person. It might have been because I've done a lot of odd jobs with people that had like social time. Like I was a tour guide. I did plumbing work with my dad. I worked at movie theaters. I think that helps a lot too, because interacting with people and realizing how people talk helps you naturally talk when you're playing roles. You know what I mean?
Okay, you remember like any moment like, okay, this is what happened in my life that I was shy until this point, and from that point I stopped being shy or I changed. We become more extrovert.
I guess definitely the speech classes helped because, like I said, I think I kept to myself when I was younger. I guess, yeah, when I was younger, and then that's probably why Mom did the theater classes and improv with me, and then I got to talk to more other people, interact with people, do kind of crazy stuff. So I also had my brothers too, like. That's also a problem with a lot of people. I'm not saying everybody, if you're a single child, like you don't have social interactions, but I think it does help if you have siblings to fight off of and interact with. So I don't think I was introverted for too long. I mean, there's been times I don't want to talk to anybody or I want to do my own thing, but I feel like I've always been kind of social. So
Gotcha. And going back to the anime world, you just mentioned your character Momo in One Piece. I think it would be everybody. You seen it? You were forced to join the club of One Piece, or you know about One Piece somehow? So how did you Momo in this case?
I mean, I was lucky because I am a huge One Piece fan. I think when I got Momo at the time, I wasn't like fully caught up with the series, but now I'm full-fledged fan. Like I'm all caught up with the manga and the anime, and I have the merch, I have the cards, I have Momo's card right here. So a little glare there, yeah, a little peach boy there. So there, that's better.
For those who aren't fan of One Piece, and those who are guilty like me, who is Momo? My apologies, guys. Those who are sorry for the call One Piece, and sorry for the question.
Nah, it's fine.
Who's Momo in One Piece?
Believe it or not, like when they see the daunting episode of like over 1,000 episodes, and people are like, I haven't gotten to your character yet. That happens to a lot to me at cons. But Momonosuke, Kozuki Momonosuke, is a little samurai boy about 7 or 8 years old, who was the son of Odin, who was the leader of a country called Wano. And unfortunately, through some circumstances, Momo is tossed into the future after his country has fallen, his father has fallen, his people are enslaved by tyrannical rule over Kaido, and he is tossed into the future to hopefully find some help in order to come back and save his country and become the new leader of Wano. So he is a small child. He's very whiny, bratty, stubborn. Since he was raised as a samurai, he's very prideful as well. And a lot of people pick on him because, of course, he's a kid. He's like, oh, he just whines and stuff. But he probably has like one of the most like rich character developed characters in the show, because like he goes through a lot. Like he is tossed from his country at the age of 7. He's told that he needs to lead his people after his father is dead, and it's like, I don't want to do that. I am 7. And then he has to build an army and get his reputation back and do all this at such a young age and try to find his self-worth, by himself. It's daunting. It's a very daunting task. But thank goodness he is able to find Luffy, or Luffy finds him, actually like in a garbage pile during the Punk Hazard arc. That's when he first comes in. And then after hearing his plea, Luffy ends up going over to Wano to help him out get back his country. So all the way to Wano. So I played this character for 4 years. So we were in a couple of arcs together. Mostly Punk Hazard, Zoe. Yes, Zoe, Punk Hazard, and so yeah, from Punk Hazard to Dressrosa to Zoe and Wano. So yeah, he's on the journey with Luffy, and there's spoilers here. I don't know. I guess you'll have to find out yourself if he's able to save his country or not. But
can I say that Momo is one of your most serious character compared your resume as today?
Oh, he definitely is. Yeah. Because a lot of people make fun of One Piece because it's definitely the craziest out of all our dubs. Usually, if you're brought into One Piece, it's like, be silly and loud, but there's a lot of dramatic, serious moments in this show. And there's a lot of times where, besides the constant crying and, oh my god, we're gonna die, there's moments where he's contemplating, like, father, like, is it really my destiny to do this? Am I allowed to do this? Am I worth becoming the leader of this country when I have not proven myself? When I haven't had the time to prove myself? Like, he's always comparing himself to his father. And I do that a lot as an actor, where a lot of us compare each other, and like that brings us down, that ruins our self-confidence. And, it's hard for Momo to have that confidence when he doesn't have anything to show for it. And that's why Luffy is such a good friend to him, because he's basically telling him like, yeah, that sucks, dude, but you gotta tough it up. And if you want to show something, then go show it. Go, this is your time, and in little ways he does eventually show, his merit for being a leader. He tells everybody what his name means. I'm peerless among men. That's why my father gave me that name. And there were some great moments, great speeches that I got to do as Momo, where I felt like so great to like rally the troops and get back the country and feel like my own man. And I really enjoyed diving into that. So I doubt I'll ever get to play a character that crazy again, honestly.
So, as the English voice of Momo and a big fan of One Piece, what would be the ending that would you like to happen for Momo as a fan?
I mean, if it's okay to spoil things, I mean, he got his happy ending, to be honest. Like, he got to save his people. He just had to age himself to do it. So, unfortunately, during that time, the directors were very nice. They actually said, Anthony Bowling, I think at the time, I worked with many different directors because we were trying to catch up with the dub. So they would split it up among, I think I worked with 8 different directors, honestly. By the end of it, I think Emily Ferraro was my last director. But during the time, Anthony was saying, if Momo becomes an adult, there's a chance that you could play him. And I was like, I'm honored. I can't play a 28-year-old man. And they're like, yeah, but like, like Naruto, where like Miley Flanagan kind of does an older version. We could kind of do something like with that with you, or with a filter. And I was like, it's nice to consider that. I'm, I don't have any regrets if you do cast an adult, which they ended up doing. It went to Justin Briner, who plays Deku in My Hero, and I think that's a really cool matchup. They even got to show me the audition specs and go like, oh, the younger version is Corinne. You can hear her cadence here, and like I think if you listen to Justin, he really captures I hate to say whininess, but he definitely catches the whininess, the anxiety, the cadence that I put into Momo as an adult. So I think that's a fun thing to watch back, to that stuff.
That's epic to share, to be honest.
Yeah.
And think about epic series to wrap it up for today. We have you have a very interesting characters. And talking about Overlord, when you have and Entoma, we were talking back.
Yeah.
You start sharing something that really surprised me. For those who haven't seen Overlord, which is a few people out there haven't seen yet, and I'm a big fan of Overlord.
I love Overlord. Okay, Overlord is an isekai. No, wait, don't stop. It's one of the good isekais. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it is one of the good ones, I think. But this guy basically plays his favorite game, and it's about to shut down because no one's playing it anymore. And he's just like, oh, we built all this cool temple and everything, and I hate for it to go. And then when the game shuts down, he is stuck in it. But it's real now. It feels real, and he's his character, this Lynch character. And now, at first, it seems like he was trying to find his way to get back home, but now it seems like he wants to take over the world. It's leaning definitely, probably because he's been in this character for so long, we don't even know how long time has gone, that he's just becoming this monster now, literally a monster. And so now he's just kind of taken over the world with his monster pals and stuff like that. I play a character named Arche, who's part of Team Foresight, where her goals were basically that she was living with a family that all they cared about was money. And she was basically taking these odd jobs to help pay stuff for her family, but really she wanted her sisters to be taken care of. And then she's like, okay, we got this one big job. Once I do it, I'm not going to give the money to my parents. I'm going to take my sisters and we're going to leave. And unfortunately, the job they take was going into the Sorcerer King's one of his castles, and it does not end very well for her team. So, but luckily, usually that would be the end of like a character where it's like, oh, I got a few episodes, she ain't coming back. Spoilers, she gets a mercy death, which basically she was scared by Shaltir to death, and I guess that's like a nice mercy death because she wasn't tortured or anything. And they ripped apart her body, gave her body parts to different people, and they gave her vocal cords to Entoma, the bug maid. So now, technically, I voiced her. So, what a way to get a new character, am I right?
Built me up so strong. And
I think I felt bad for the director because they probably should have done their research knowing that was going to happen, because the original actress was Tia, and then I basically well, now I play her. So...
Damn.
Yeah.
And this is something that because Overlord, something I really love about Overlord is go kind of like Game of Thrones, because the season is having some time focusing on one character doesn't mean they're going to leave. It's the other way around. It means that they might die anytime soon. The most
definitely, yeah.
And that's something that the beauty of this series, which right now we don't know where it's going. And something I feel like one point, how is it? I cannot pronounce his name right now. The main character, he just wanted to have peace, but now he's letting everybody attacking him in the name of their gods. So they're like, hey guys, I want to have peace. You want to respect my army, but yeah, sure, guys, you don't want to have peace. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Right.
And damn, and even that he say let's go for it, he keep a very strong ethic. Even that during the last movie, that ethic was the line way too far.
I did see the movie, and I was kind of annoyed because Entoma is in the movie, but she doesn't say anything. So I was really hoping to get to say something. The only one of the maidens actually gets to talk in that movie. But it was such a weird... I kind of wish they made it another season of its own. It didn't feel like a movie. It just felt like they just shoved an entire show into a movie. I still enjoyed it, but there's so much in between basically that season now. You're season 3 watching all this and then going into the next seasons are a little jarring, you know what I mean? Because there's so much. especially my favorite part where they were making fun of the runes, where they're like, was anybody interested in the rune weapons? And they're all like, no. My favorite was when they were versing this monster that had like 2 heads of different magicians and was blasting stuff, and then she's like, oh no, she's got those powerful ruins, and then the main girl's just like, well, everybody shut up, and then she's like, but ruins. I was like, nobody cares about these ruins that we spent like a season on. It was so funny. He's almost progressing too much with his army that people don't even know how much power that he has. Like, I get he's trying to grab as many stuff to try to get attention from any humans or whatever, but at this point nobody even knows all these powers that he even has, and it's crazy.
And I'm with you. I have mixed feelings about the movie. I'm like, should this have been a season or a movie? I kind of see why, and at the same time, like, I say thank you for making a movie, because I see it as a sub. It's not like a sub arc. I mean, it is an arc that it have to. There's a reason why it was explained to us, and for the whole, it was first, the movie was super long. The movie that they talk.
I was just gonna say it felt longer than Mugen Train, which we also didn't need that as a movie, but at least like that looked beautiful. Like, no offense to Madhouse, but like this feel like if this was just a season, I'd be fine with the animation budget. If you're making a movie, you gotta add a little extra flair, you know what I mean? And there was not much flair in this film. So
at the same time, it was one of those moments that I'm for a whole movie, because again, I'm a big fan of Overlord. I'm like, where this is going? And I'm like,
no, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it immensely. Problem was I brought 2 friends with me that like just went with me just to see it, and they're like, oh, we haven't seen Overlord. I'm like, you're gonna have a field day.
He didn't watch Overlord either.
Like, one of them was like half asleep, and then the other one was like, so who's that? And I was like, oh, well, this person. And I was like, and I was kind of happy explaining it because, again, I'm a fan of the show. But I was just like, oh, God, they're not going to know half these people.
And the gore for this movie, they wouldn't want.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the poor princess, like, oh, my God.
She'll make a nice weapon. I'm like, what she means when she makes a nice weapon? And he really means make use as a weapon.
Everyone did blood curdling screams very well in the dub. I was very impressed by that. So,
so after small spoiler, I was like, damn, this is a very dirty move. Holy out! I think it was one of the most dirty moves that are made.
Definitely.
Like, and now I'm like, perfect. Now you gave us this information. Where the hell we're going with this season?
Right. Actually, yeah, I think it's in between season 4 and 5. I think that's where the movie is, because you see their I think at the end of the movie they're like, oh, we need a symbol for our people, and then you see that symbol on the peace treaty that they're doing, and I was just like, oh, and then it's like, it's really messed up, and it's a really great move, like.
Right, so I highly recommend it. Don't get scared because you're another OP character. Trust me, guys, this OP it's going more beyond the ethic of a character or their subordinated, and about all the kingdom's neighbor, which are like, hey, should we just be on peace because you're demon? You need to be. There's a lot of lesson learned. It's very political.
Sure, yeah. It's definitely questions you on what it means to be a leader and how far you will go for your people. It has a lot of stuff that I like from Tanya and the Saga of Evil. Like, there's a lot of correlation with that kind of theming too. It's like, how far will you go? How many people will die just to protect those, certain other people? It's crazy.
It is, and that movie it really make us question those lines. We're like, the moment he said you need to sacrifice to achieve something, and yes, you need to protect the underpowered guy, but you may have to kill one kid to.
Oh, the kid, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Is that what justice is? And it's like, I don't even know what justice is anymore.
And I'm here like, at least this series kind of realistic. It's not playing with.
I felt bad when he yelled at the dad, though. Like, that was kind of messed up a little bit. It's like, oh, well, you should have protected your son. I'm like, Jesus.
No, okay, yeah, you guys, just watch it.
We can talk about this movie all day. We should talk about the movie sometime. Yeah.
The whole episode, you go from season 1 and we're going to do an analysis from season 1, season 2, season 3. And
I did this on another podcast where they were trying to interview me, and then we talked about Pokemon for a half hour.
It's easy to fall
Yeah.
in the rabbit hole. So, Corinne, thank you so much for those who are considering joining the voice acting career or something similar. Any words of advice?
Any words of advice? I'm pretty sure people have probably given advice where it's like theater classes, blah 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 blah. I would say I'm trying to give something different. My goal this year was to be more social. I say try to do that. I know times are tough. There are things you can do that don't require money, but I think being more outgoing is a good thing because again, you're picking up different interactions from other people. You're people watching. Oh, I love people watching. You're getting little clicks and hearing different things. And I feel like that will make you a better actor because you're seeing how people live. You got to figure out how like our language is evolving, and I feel like that will be a good arsenal. Also take improv classes. Some of those are free, I go to local improv classes all the time, meet new friends there, and then you just get to be silly, loosey-goosey. I think if you get to do that, you have more confidence whenever you actually get to be in the booth. Because when you get there, they like seeing confidence. They like being able to throw a challenge at you and you're just like, sure, They don't like, I'm sorry. They don't like that. They want to see that you're fun and that you're versatile and that you can do anything, so.
And these skills that go beyond acting, you can apply to any area here.
Sure, yeah.
Engineers, clients, customer service, anything that you want to imagine to kind of apply it. So, Corinne, thank you so much. Which social media can people follow you?
I think I'm pretty much everywhere. Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's either going to be Megami33 or 36 because those are my backups, but everything is Megami33. And on my YouTube channel, too, I do adaptation covers from some of your favorite anime. So if you're interested in hearing stuff like that, you should check out my channel, too. I also stream, too. I'm on Twitch. Go watch my stuff on Twitch, too.
Which I saw this a few days ago. So guys, just go always go down to the description of this video like always, and you're going to find Corinne all those links over there on YouTube. And like always, guys, we will humbly ask you to subscribe. Like I share to all our social media. We're almost everywhere. So it's kind of hard to keep it up. So Corinne, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Sayonara.